and Fair Play have allowed us to come in and eavesdrop on their rehearsal. Dave has got some amazing instrument here, so I'm really looking forward to hearing it. And what is it?
Well, this is a shawm. It's actually a soprano shawm, and there are families of shawms. This is actually the smallest of the normal family of shawms, although there are smaller ones that are used in France and Brittany. But this is a soprano.
So again, what era would this have been common instrument?
Well, it's very interesting. Nobody really knows quite when they originated, but it could be as early as the 10th century. And these were brought back by the Crusaders, and they became part of the Renaissance scene in Europe.
So it's definitely of Arabic origin.
Quite probably.
Hence, this is going to sound very similar to the sort of music we expect.
Yes, Turkish and the like.
Yes, yes. Got to hear it.
Okay. It's a bit temperamental and spiteful, but we'll give it a go.
Mozart tried to copy the style of Turkish music, but I'm pretty sure this instrument predates that style.
Definitely. As far as is known, it was developed in the 12th century or possibly earlier.
That's very early.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, though, how do they bring down the actual pieces of music? Because there wouldn't have been any written notation in those days.
Well, I think what happened, the Crusaders tended to bring the instruments and the music for them back with them.
So they'd have just done it by ear, I guess, by remembering the tunes.
Yes. I mean, in the Renaissance times, music was notated, but it was a fairly crude form of notation.
It doesn't look like anything.
Sort of like it, but it's distinctly different.
Yeah. Is there something else we could hear? Let you get back to your rehearsal.
Okay, I'll try that other piece, shall I?
It is loud.
It is.
Well, Dave, this amazing instrument, what is it called?
Well, it's called the bass kirtle in Britain, but in Germany it's called the dulcian, and it gets other names in different parts of the world as well.
I'm guessing it has to be a predecessor of our modern bassoon.
Well, it is, and it's actually very similar. The bass kirtle is in essentially the same key as the modern bassoon, except it can't go quite as low, because it isn't quite as long, and it can't go quite as high, because it isn't quite so refined.
Well, the obvious difference is there are no obvious key work, because a modern bassoon is covered in lots of keys. Now, have you got any keys on
this? It does,
this?
actually. It's got one here. This actually only counts as one, and there's another one here, and that's it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Can I hear it?
Okay, I'll try to.
That's a wonderful noise, isn't it? Sound, I should say. It's not a noise, is it? It's a sound. So when would these have been in general use? What era?
Well, these came in sort of Renaissance times, probably about the 1500s, and they lasted for quite a while because they became very popular in churches for emphasising the bass line in choral works.
Because we think of the organ as being a church instrument. Of course, it wasn't. Wind groups were very common.
Exactly, yeah.
Before organs were introduced, so this would have been the sort of thing that people would have heard.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Would this have been as late as Shakespeare, for instance?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They were still using things like
yes,
that.
Yeah.
Remarkable. Yeah. I have to say, why you've got a cork in the end?
The cork's in there because my colleagues reckon that otherwise it's too loud. I can play that same tune again with it out, and you may see the difference. Find the holes.
I think that's a marvellous sound without the cork in.
So do I.
Why do they think it's too loud? It's wonderful.
Well, it's actually louder than the bagpipes.